So my name is Igor Michel Adami. I'm from Brazil. I applied for a master course in international relations in URFU, and now I'm doing a PhD in history, also history of international relations. I first heard about URFU when I was applying for a scholarship abroad back in my university. I had some options in mind. First I wanted to go to Canada, and then a woman showed up in my university advertising scholarships in Russia. And we did some testing and interviews there, and some people were sent to Moscow, some people were sent to Yekaterinburg, which is me. When I first chose URFU, I chose it because my area of study in international relations was closely related to security studies. And when I saw that you had a specialization in masters regarding global security, that was like my number one choice. And then I searched for my supervisor, Katerina Borisovna, and well, eventually I came here, ended up studying with her. She was a great guide, and still we are doing research together. Actually, I feel like if I were to separate a single skill, it would probably be creativity, because whereas in my area of study, it's very narrow, and often in international relations, when you come to any kind of security studies, you come to strategic studies, and these things kind of boil down to a more classical, realist approach of like policy making, or old debates that exist in international relations. And here I wasn't really bound by any kind of strict approach, and I was left to do a good portion of theoretical research on my own. And that has been really a blessing for me, because I feel like it really expanded my horizons and all the knowledge that I was able to collect during these years. The best I can say is that Russia is really misunderstood. I mean, Russia, not just as a country and in politics, right? Like, I think that kind of debate would really fit onto the things that I do. But as a personal experience, much of Russian bureaucracy that you find out, that you encounter being a foreign student, isn't really as puzzling as one would expect. And there is, I think that the great majority of people who are working with foreign students, they are the ones who are willing to do anything to help you. And that's a question that I ask myself every day. And I'm not sure if I have a clear answer. I know two things for certain, is that in the immediate future, my focus is to finish the PhD, right, and defend my dissertation. And the second is to seek into professorhood, if you could put it in these terms. Whether here or elsewhere, that's what I want, really. Just continue my academic journey, and not really, very specific goals about riches and objects and stuff. It's more about the journey. If I was to say one thing that I found in URFU that is the most positive in my life at the moment, that thing would be love. So I have a fiance, and I met her at URFU, right? As I first did the master's, we became friends, eventually had a relationship, and just not very long ago, this happened. So that is one thing that I, of course, want to keep for the rest of my life. A second thing would be maybe my academic partnership. So we've had this connection with my supervisor, and we wrote a couple articles and stuff, and that, I think, of course, not that all the articles I'm going to write are going to be with her, but that was a first for me. So it was my first article and my first academic partnership, and that first interaction in which you discuss ideas and try to think out everything, how you can express the information that you are trying to not only discover more about, but expose your knowledge to the rest of the academic community, right? And these are all things that are very dear to me. They were in the beginning and they remain valuable now, all of this knowledge that I first got. So these would be the most important two things that I've got in URFU, and they are mine forever.